So you're looking at a precision resistance meter and you're not totally sure if this Hioki RM3544-01 is the one that won't waste your time or your budget. I get it. These meters aren't impulse buys, you're probably comparing specs, checking price tags, and wondering if the extra features are worth it. If you want to dig into the details, the link is in the description. Let's talk about whether this meter actually fits the kind of work you do. This isn't a jack-of-all-trades multimeter. It's built for low-resistance measurements where accuracy matters. Think checking relay contacts, verifying PCB trace continuity, or testing low-value resistors in production or lab settings. The RM3544-01 can measure from 0.000 milliohms all the way up to 3.5 megohms, which covers a lot of ground. But here's the thing. When you're measuring fractions of a milliohm, every little thing counts: the probes, the connections, even the temperature in the room. That's where the guard jack and higher test current come in handy. They help you get a cleaner reading by reducing the influence of surface leakage or parallel paths. If you've ever struggled with a cheap meter giving inconsistent results on low-resistance components, that's exactly what this meter is designed to fix. Now, who should actually buy this? If you're a hobbyist tinkering with Arduino projects or swapping out resistors in a circuit, you probably don't need this level of precision. A basic handheld meter will do just fine. But if you're in a professional setting, say, you're calibrating sensors, testing automotive relays, or working in a small lab where traceability matters, this meter gives you the repeatability you need. The EXT I/O interface is also useful if you're integrating it into an automated test system. That's not something you'll find on a $50 meter, and it can save you a ton of time if you're running the same test hundreds of times a day. Where this meter really shines is in environments where consistency is critical. Let's say you're testing a batch of current sensors and you need to confirm that every unit falls within a tight tolerance. The RM3544-01 lets you set up a pass/fail threshold with the optional LED comparator attachment, and it even gives you high-volume judgment tones. That means you can keep your eyes on the probes instead of staring at a screen, which speeds things up when you're under pressure. If you've ever had to manually log readings or second-guess your meter's results, this feature alone can justify the cost. But it's not perfect for everyone. If you're only measuring high-resistance components like checking insulation resistance in wiring harnesses, this meter isn't the right tool. You'd be better off with a megometer instead. Also, while the guard jack helps reduce errors, it's not a magic fix. You still need to use proper Kelvin clips and make clean connections. If your setup is sloppy, even the best meter will give you garbage data. And let's be real, if you're not working in a controlled environment, temperature swings and humidity can affect your readings. This meter won't compensate for poor technique or bad lab conditions. Another thing to consider is the learning curve. If you're used to plug-and-play multimeters, the RM3544-01 might feel a bit overwhelming at first. The interface is functional but not exactly intuitive, and the manual is more technical than your average user guide. You'll need to spend some time getting familiar with the settings, especially if you're using the comparator function or the EXT I/O. That's not a deal-breaker, but it's worth factoring in if you're on a tight deadline. So, is this meter worth the investment? If you're doing professional-grade resistance measurements and you need reliable, repeatable results, then yes. It's not cheap, but it's built to last and it does exactly what it promises. If you're just dabbling or working on low-stakes projects, you can probably get by with something simpler and save your money. Either way, take a close look at your actual needs before you click buy. If you're still on the fence, check out the link in the description to see the latest price and specs. That's where you'll find the full details to make your final call.